Ukraine has launched drone attacks on southern Russian Republic of Dagestan, regional authorities reported on December 1. Ukrainian armed forces drones struck Dagestan on Monday morning, and the unmanned vehicles were shot down over Kaspiask city, the head of the republic, Sergei Melikov, said. The official did not provide details about the result of the attack, stating only that emergency services were working at the scene. He also reminded the public that Dagestan has a ban on publishing information about drone strikes, terrorist attacks, and the location of Defense Ministry forces. However, photos and videos posted on social media show the aftermath of the explosions, blown-out windows in the residential building. At least 15 cars in a parking lot were damaged. There have been no comments from Ukraine about Melikov's claims so far. At the same time, Telegram channels close to Russian security services reported that several explosions occurred in Kaspiask, damaging a multi-story residential building as well as nearby parked cars. According to Telegram channel Astra, the target of the drone attack may have been the Dagestan shipbuilding plant in the region. The Dagestan Ministry of Health reported that a 12-year-old girl sustained a minor injury during the attack and has been hospitalized. Ukrainian troops have launched a large number of long-range strikes with missiles and drones on Russian territory during Russia's full-fledged invasion that is in its fourth year. In 2024 and 2025, oil refineries and other energy facilities were the most frequent targets of the Ukrainian strikes that are aimed at cutting support for Russia's war machine. Most of these attacks have been confirmed by Ukraine's General Staff, which has stated that Ukraine's defense forces are carrying out measures aimed at reducing the combat potential of the Russian occupation troops, as well as compelling the Russian Federation to end its armed aggression against Ukraine.
Russia has eased medical rules so that people with serious mental disorders can sign contracts with the armed forces and be returned to combat units from psychiatric hospitals, according to Verstka. The outlet said amendments adopted in August 2025 to the government's regulation on military medical expertise downgraded a range of psychiatric diagnoses from full unfitness for service to limited fitness with the changes taking effect from September. Under the revised schedule of diseases, endogenous psychosis, such as schizophrenia, schizoaffective and other psychotic disorders, as well as severe neurotic and personality disorders, no longer automatically exclude a person from contract service, while chronic alcoholism and alcohol-induced psychosis were moved from the unfit category to fit with minor restrictions. Verstka, citing medical papers and interviews with soldiers and relatives, described multiple cases in which servicemen who developed serious mental disorders at the front were returned to assault or reconnaissance units after short stays in psychiatric hospitals, despite earlier conclusions that their conditions made them unfit for frontline duty. One case described a contract soldier from Kazan diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder and a pronounced personality disorder, and who had attempted suicide several times, was taken from a psychiatric hospital by military police, re-examined by a military psychiatrist, and then sent to an assault detachment, his wife told the outlet. Other families recounted similar situations in which soldiers, initially deemed limited, fit, and barred from weapons, were later assigned to storm brigades. The investigation finds the revised rules also cover people with a history of drug use and addiction. According to Verstka, past drug dependence and related diagnosis that once meant automatic exclusion can now be reclassified so that such individuals are deemed fit for restricted contract service. A military psychiatrist interviewed by the outlet, who works with servicemen and requested anonymity, said the overall bar for fitness had been lowered because the fit resource is running out, and that people who would not have been admitted before, including those with psychotic episodes, alcoholism, or drug addiction, are now being sent to war. Earlier, it was reported that Russian ex-prisoner Andrei Galkin, who said he had a cognitive disability and was registered with a narcologist, was coerced into signing a military contract and sent to a storm unit in Ukraine. He and fellow soldiers suffered such extreme deprivation that they drank urine, contemplated cannibalism, and ultimately surrendered to Ukrainian forces. So when Ukrainian forces showed up, Galkin said their arrival felt like salvation. They promised us we'd live, and they kept their word. He said, they didn't beat us. They treated us like human beings. The I Want to Live project, run by Ukraine's military intelligence service to help Russian soldiers safely surrender, said Galkin's story is far from unique. Russia, it said, has routinely sent people with mental illnesses, disabilities, and terminal diseases into combat. In Putin's gulag state, where brute force rules and law is meaningless, there is no place for humanity, the group wrote. The motherland doesn't care who it kills or how.